I lost my first job, but I gained something better. Something happened to me many years ago when I started my career that I will never forget. I lost my first job. Who loses their first job? To make the matters worse, it was in the middle of a global financial crisis. So the chance of me getting another job was very bleak. I was devastated. As a fresh graduate from the university, I'd always dreamed of becoming a global financial analyst. But when I started working and got this job, I forgot about my dreams and just focused on doing the job that I had on hand. I remember that my husband used to remind me every time I got back from work that I wasn't working in the place that I told him I was going to work when we were dating. And I would tell him he should not worry about it, that I changed my mind about the career that I wanted to build. But believe me, I did not change my thoughts about my career or what I wanted. I was just comfortable in the job that I had. It was paying me well. I was living the baby girl life, soft life, and I had no problems. So why should I pursue something else? And that was what kept me on the job. Not that I really liked it, not that it was what I wanted to do, but I just carried away because I was well paid. Reality check happened. I lost the job 4 years into it. When it happened, I cried for so many weeks and I was so disappointed in myself. The bank was not to blame. The bank job was not the issue. The issue was me. I was to blame. First of all, I had abandoned my dreams just so that I could be in the bank and be earning good money. Second of all, I had forgotten about developing myself. I stopped growing, I stopped learning, I stopped training myself. I didn't complete my professional exams that I started before I joined the bank. And I also abandoned all the professional exams that I thought I was going to do after school. In the 3 years that I was in that bank, I honestly cannot say that this is one thing that I achieved in terms of skills acquisition. So the job loss was just a jerk of reality for me. So question is, how did I overcome this job loss? The first thing I did was to accept responsibility that I had subcontracted my career to chances. I did not have a plan and I wasn't following through on who I said I wanted to become. As the CEO of my career, I am on the driver's seat. I am constantly reviewing where I am in terms of my trajectory at my career versus where I want to be and taking the right steps. I'm constantly checking, am I growing? I'm constantly checking, am I learning? I'm constantly checking, am I building the right relationships and network? So I have stopped leaving my career to chance. The second thing I did was to pick up my professional exam that I abandoned. I had written the first stage of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers before I joined the bank, and I did not write any one after. What I did next was to pick up my Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and complete my exams. The third thing I did, of course, was to register for the Chartered Financial Analyst examinations. I had gotten the CFA books when I joined the bank and I left it on my shelf for 3 good years until I got sacked. Here are very important career lessons that I picked up from that singular act of me losing my first job. The first thing that I learned was that I am the CEO of my career. I learned not to subcontract my career to somebody else, either the HR of the organization, but to take responsibility for my career. As a CEO, I'm supposed to be strategizing and planning on where I want my career to be. That was the first important lesson that I picked up from it. The second important lesson is to have accountability partners. there should always be people that you share your dreams and visions with. These are people that will remind you your dreams and your visions when you have forgotten about them, or when you have derailed, like I did when I started my first job. My husband played the role of an accountability partner when I lost my job, and whilst I was there, he always reminded me, this is not what you want to do, this is not where you said you would be, what are you doing here, what plans are you making? So it's always important to have an accountability partner. The third lesson that I learned from it is that there's actually nothing that you cannot turn for your good. I leveraged my job loss to become who I am today. I can tell you that if they had not sacked me from that job, I won't be where I am today. Today, I'm a partner in a global firm, and I would not have had the opportunity of becoming a partner in a global firm if I had not been fired from that job. For everyone watching this video, there will be two categories of people. Category A are those that lost their jobs, like I did many years ago. If you are in that category, congratulations, because a job loss actually gives you an opportunity to reinvent yourself, like it did for me. By losing your job, you can actually take the opportunity of transitioning into a new career, into a new role, or into a new location. So don't think that a job loss is an end. It's usually not an end in itself unless you refuse to take the bend. If you have lost your job, there's no need to wallow in self-pity. It's the time to act and take the right decisions going forward. It is not everybody that gets the opportunity of being redirected. A job loss can actually be a blessing in disguise. And I want you to look at it that way. Don't wallow in self-pity. Look at where you are today and see what you can make of what you have lost. Category B, you are the people that have not lost your job, but there's still something you need to do. You have to be the CEO of your career, and you have to have accountability partners. Make sure that you constantly check where you are in your career and that you are not carried away with money like I was. So for me, my job loss was the most challenging period of my career, but it is the one that I am most grateful for, because if I didn't lose the job, I wouldn't have had the opportunity of moving into investment banking and then moving into consulting. In fact, I also changed my location from where I used to live. So a job loss is not an end in itself. I am grateful that they sacked me, because I did not have the power to sack myself from a career that wasn't working. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please make sure you share it with your friends. Until next time, stay clean. Bye-bye.